Oh, we're going to talk about it today. Oh, we're going to talk about addiction. Creativity is an addiction. You feed that monkey beast all the time, and it just takes advantage of you. Sure, you have your days and moments of victory, but you also have those days where it's like, oh my God, no, please. Unplugged, because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally uncut, because we all make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Just got off the phone with Ken Seeley. He's from that TV show Intervention 911. Oh, we had a great talk. They're promoting a brand new season and all that kind of stuff. Nothing bad. And you know me, I'm always going to have questions. The who, what, where, why, when, and hows. And more importantly, I want to deliver a conversation that is going to reach a set of ears that may not have known about what Ken Seeley is really all about. And we did in the conversation. I said, look, I've been a daily writer for 27 years. In what we're talking about here today, am I addicted? Do I have an addictive personality? And he kind of shaped my mind and is saying, no. Because that's an outlet. That's not taking things in. That's an outlet. And yet at the same time, this is where I was blown away. Codependency is something that's very addictive. And I kind of sat back on that because I remember in the 80s and 90s and even into the new millennium, how codependent I was, not only to my mother, but to my first wife and to my second wife. And I had to learn how to break that habit of codependency. And now I could sit in a room all day, all by myself with no television on, no music on, and just go, God, why did it take me so long to get to this place? I don't have to be codependent. Learning to be strong. And I think where that began, where that change began, is when I started to take the steps toward martial arts. And I grew 12 and a half years into that, learning how to have the inner strength while studying, of course, the artist way from Julia Cameron. But I didn't realize that codependency is really looked upon as being something of addiction. I didn't know that. Hey, it's Arroe. This is The Choice. This is what I was writing while the sun was waking up on a brilliant new day. And today we're reading from October 13th, 2021. When written thought becomes spoken word. When written thought becomes spoken word. I'm going to have a conversation with John Waite a little bit later on today, and he likes to put a lot of words on paper, and I'm sure that's what inspired this sentence here. And then those written words become songs, and they become thoughts that have activation to them. When written thoughts become spoken word, will it be enough to inspire action? No matter how strong your heart is, at the drop of a hat, the human emotion easily turns into a follower. A single thought, when projected, plants that seed. Ultimately, it's our choice to believe or not to believe. We play the white picket fence game, pitting the right side against the left side. It's a mission of, what if? I mean, both sides feel right. How is that even possible? Those leading continue to say their message, and they do it over and over and over again. It's no different than a radio commercial that has finally convinced you, go buy this product. Why? Because you need it. Why? Because that commercial says you need it. Now, because I'm a daily writer, I study a lot of thought. It doesn't mean that I'm under control. It means I'm aware of what I think. I know it injures, and sadly, it's hard for me to keep my thoughts silent when others are taking from me. I sound off. I'm nothing more than a dog barking in the front or backyard. But here's the thing. I've learned to no longer bite. In this age, where it seems like we can say whatever we want, whenever we want, I often wonder if you realize that you're biting. That what you're saying, even though it feels good to you on your side of the fence, over here, you're biting. You're saying things that can bring injury or harm to what is happening to this situation. And I could easily say we are a divided nation. The thing is that we've always been a divided nation. That's what's made this nation so incredible, is that we've always had the power of opinion, a power of thought. I wish I could be a fly in the wall and go back to the days of Benjamin Franklin when he would sit right there when they were making the laws. I would love to hear the arguments between those men. And then they would go home to their families and they would discuss it. That's what I want. I want to know the roots of thought and how a thought can become spoken word. Like I said, I'm a daily writer. And my weakness, and I've told this to so many future broadcasters, I can't go on a radio show or a podcast without physically preparing for what it is that's about to become. I have to be able to write it out, to have written words so that I have spoken word. It's my weakness, even as a jock over song intros. And I think the reason why is because my program directors just endlessly told me, you're stumbling because you didn't practice it. Write it out. Write it out. And then I started hosting countdowns and music specials and things like that. And it was always written out. So that's become my weakness. That's become, my addiction? Oh, how do we get back on this subject again? Well, because this is what I do over and over and over again. And Ken Seeley from Intervention 911 said, addiction is when you know you can't live without it. Written thoughts become spoken words. I can't live without it. I'm Arroe, and that's what I was writing while the sun was waking up on a brilliant new day.